Overkill. Overkill.
Let's go, boys. Good to have you back, Meat Boy. It's episode 219, and last week was UFC ATL. Pretty solid week again for both of us, Meat Boy. We're going on tears, but the MEATLOCK took a second straight L. It was our boy, Andre Petroski, and we expect him to go in there, get some takedowns, really control the pace, implement his game against Shabazian, who was obviously there to stand and bang. Ultimately, what happened was Petroski went to stand and bang and dropped the decision. So what did you make of the L of a MEATLOCK, and where does Petroski go after this?
Yeah, Petrosky's going to probably bare knuckle fighting organization over there. Um, yeah, and he's probably get knocked out and then get cut and I don't know, maybe join I don't know. It seems like he doesn't grapple. So I was gonna say the grapple league for the UFC, but like I don't even think he grapples anymore. So he's probably just gonna be a bum dog.
It didn't make any sense. We're obviously salty from that one, but nonetheless, we think we have a MEATLOCK to get us back on track this week. We dropped two straight, so we're due for an absolute lock from Baku. Before we head into this week's breakdowns, Meat Boy, the main event was Buckley versus Usman. You were all over it. You said that Usman would bully beat down, dominate him from start to finish. You called that beautifully. What did you like out of Usman? How'd you know he was going to do that against Buckley? And is he going to fight for the title again, or?
Yeah, I don't know. This definitely puts a big step backwards for Buckley. I feel like if he smoked Usman or even just like one pretty solid win, doesn't have to be just hyper convincingly or dominant fashion. Just like, oh, that was a good win by him. I think he would be up there with maybe one more fight or even the next title fight. But this is gonna set him back. Best case, 2 fights. Worst case, 5 fights, or maybe never, unfortunately. And time is ticking, so he better do something spectacular in his next 2 fights to get back up to the potential contender spot.
Yeah, and good on Usman for turning back the clock and really dominating Buckley start to finish. He fought a beautiful fight. And before we swap over to the Baku Lakus, Meatball, I do kind of want to toot our own horn real quick. We both picked Alonzo Menafield at plus 500 over the hype beast Umar C. So we were all over that one. And then Paul Craig versus Bellato. I almost had that one. Bellato Bellator. Pretty sure he got smoked and found an exit ramp, but either way, it was a no contest. So maybe they'll run that one back. I'm still picking the Bear Jew. But either way, Meat Boy, you ready to swap us through to Azerbaijan?
Yep, let's get right to the meat lock.
Yeah, move us in there. It's Myktebek Orolbai, aka MEATLOCK Orolbai, who is 13-2-1 and is 2-1 in the UFC, coming off his first recent L. And that was one where we meatlocked the Oral Goat and he lost the split decision to Rabisti. So we're trusting him again to, at a much cheaper spot, this time actually come through as a meatlock over the debutant Tofik Musayev, who is 22-5. He's making his debut at age 35, and he's a hometown guy, right? He's an Azerbaijan legend, but when you really look at his wins, I mean, this dude was fighting up and down in Bellator, winning fights, losing fights, doing the same thing in Ryzen, and we think that the opposition that he's faced has really inflated that 22-5 record, and the UFC simply needed to fill a main event slot and said, hey, let's give this hometown hero a chance. Maybe all the Timmies will bet the lineup because they think that Oral Goat is Donzo Balonzo after losing that fight to Rabisti, but we like this to be Orolbai at a cheaper price versus a debutant who's simply in over his head. So what do you like about MEATLOCK Orolbai in this one? Do you think he gets back to his finishing ways over Musafayev, or is it going to be just an easy light work decision for our boy Orolbai?
Yeah, the Oral Goat is definitely going to get this done. Easy light work. I mean, he looked great in Rabisti, but Rabisti really is no joke. And guess what? This opponent is no Rabisti. So I think the Oral Goat is going to get it done. I think he's going to dominate, get the finish, and show who the real goat is.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the guy who, he obviously won that decision over Elvis Brenner, but prior to that, he was finishing everyone, was Orolbai, and we've seen Musayev get finished early and often before, whether it's by submissions, whether it's by body kicks in Bellator. I mean, this is a dude who has been finished and loves to get finished. So we're taking Orolbai on this one, keeping it simple, throwing down an easy 165 to net 100. And if we look at Tapology, 86% is rolling with the Meat Boys. They think that Orolbai gets this one done. It's basically a lot of beige for the decision, though. Are you officially going Orolbai by finish?
Yeah, I gotta go Oral by finish for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go Orolbai by finish, but either way, the Meatlock money line is minus 165 for Orolbai. Easy light work at a cheaper price, getting him back on track. So swap us through, Meat Boy. This next one is fun. It's the Hillman, Muhammad Naimov, taking on Bogdan Grod, aka Bumdog Grob, who is 1-0 in the UFC. He's a contender series guy, and you're kind of getting him at a nice plus 180 dog price in this one. Over the Hillman, who oftentimes cashes as a dog, but when he's the overwhelming favorite, I'm curious to see if his luck transcends those odds as well. So, what are your thoughts on this one? Do you kind of like Bumdog Grob at plus 180, or are you taking the Hillman to get this one done?
Yeah, man, it's a good question, and I think I gotta go with Bumdog Rod on this one. I really like him in this purely because I like a juicy dog, and Bumdog Rod is kind of nice. I mean, he's looking pretty dang good, and I think he's gonna get a finish first round TKO.
Yeah, good stuff. I like Bumdog Grob too, and just to hint on what we like from him. I mean, this is a dude who just absolutely smoked Lucas Alexander. He was a dog in that fight. He took out Michael Aswell to earn his spot with the promotion, and he was a dog on that fight. And his only loss is to Tom Nolan, who is really starting to come into his own and looks like he could be a top 15 guy eventually. So Bumdog Grob is a guy with a lot of experience and a lot of well-rounded skills. Taking on Naimov, who's going to be the smaller guy, but Tapology loves the Hillman. He's another hometown guy. Any chance that Naimov comes in here and just makes easy light work of Bogdan Grod, or what do you like about Grod stylistically that allows you to pick him in this fight?
I like that Bumdog Grod gets the finish. He's dominant. He's good everywhere. His striking's very good. And honestly, I think this is going to be a very quick fight. I'd be surprised if it goes to the second.
Yeah, I'm with you, Meatboy. I like Unleashed in this one. Let us know in the comments if we're sleeping on the Hillman or Unleashed Grod is going to get this one done. But Bogdan Grod is the pick for both of us. Swap us through, Meatboy. Third from the top. It's a fight that, man, this fight was supposed to happen months ago. I originally believed that we meatlocked Curtis Blades at one point, but we've obviously deviated. We like the Orolbai meatlock a little bit more as far as this card is concerned. But my first thought to you would be, months ago, we said this is an easy light work victory for Curtis Blades. Obviously, this fight never went down. It was supposed to, but guys kept pulling out, right? The story about Kuniev is he's an Eagle FC guy, a PFL guy, a true hype beast, and Blades has lost 2 of 3. So, what are your thoughts on this one? Are you as bullish on Blades winning this fight as you were months ago, or now that time has passed and Blades pulled out of a few contests, do you think Kuniev has a little bit more life than maybe we originally thought?
Yeah, I want to go with Blades, but I don't know, something in my gut. I kind of forget why I was kind of flipping on him and worried about that meatlock. It's definitely not a meatlock, or else we would be meatlocking it. But I think I'm gonna pick against Blade in this one.
If you're picking against Blades, then what made you jump ship? I mean, was it Kuniev's beautiful performance over Henan Ferreira, aka the Thumb in PFL? I mean, was it the Contender Series victory that he picked up a year later? I mean, what is it that you liked of Kuniev? Because yes, Blades has lost 2 of 3. You can argue that, I mean, maybe we're seeing the second half of his career, but when we look at those losses, it's Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich, two of the top guys, right? I mean, Pavlovich maybe not as much, but Aspinall nonetheless. If you're picking Rizvan Kuniev, do you see him in that conversation of Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich?
Honestly, I don't know, but after this fight we will find out. But I think the Rizzler at plus 235. I mean, that's just juicy tenderloins on the grill, to be honest, boys. Like, I gotta go with the Rizzler on this one, and I think he's basically a Curtis Blades guy, but he's a Russian. Like, he's an absolute savage. And I think he's gonna dominate him on the ground. I just don't know about the feet. If he can have the better of him on the feet, well, the grappling will either cancel out or he's going to also dominate there. I just like these odds. It's a good style matchup. It's not like, oh, striker versus Curtis Blades, who can strike decently, but his grappling is his bread and butter. This would be body slash easy work. This is a guy that is going to definitely stuff Curtis Blades, if not take Curtis Blades down, I would imagine. But I don't know. And then if he loses, then I guess we know Curtis Blades is still in it. I just think Curtis Blades almost gets there and then takes 2 steps back. I think he's kind of donezo. And now there's the Rizzler. He's here to eat.
Yeah, great stuff. I think you make a great point. We'll see. We'll learn a lot about the Rizzler very early on in this contest, and we'll see if he's on that Razor level. I'm still going to be picking Curtis Blades in this one, Meat Boy. I don't know. I guess I haven't seen enough yet from the Rizzler to justify picking him over Curtis Blades, and I see this fight similar to how Curtis Blades and homeboy hypebeast Brazilian, what's his name, Gelton Almeida. I see this fight going down similar to that fight where everyone thought Gelton would be able to stuff the takedowns. Ultimately, he didn't. Got absolutely smoked. So I'm going to go Blades in this one. I'm even going to say Blades by late finish. If you're taking the Rizzler, are you thinking he's going to finish Curtis Blades?
Yeah, I think he's gonna Rizzle his way to victory.
Let us know in the comments if Meat is sleeping on Curtis Blades and this is going to be a levels test like Buckley was to Usman last week, or if the Rizzler truly is him. But nonetheless, Meat Boy, swap us through. It's the co-meet and probably the fight on the card I'm most excited to see. It's Ignacio Bahamondes, 17-5, who seemingly is one of the most active dudes around these days. I feel like we're breaking down an Ignacio fight once a month at this point, but the dude is on a beautiful tear. He's won 3 in a row. He's won 6 of 7, and his only loss was a close decision L to Ludovic Klein. And he's taken on Rafael Fiziev in this one, who is 12-4. He's lost 3 straight, and he's getting a co-main opportunity in his backyard to really get his career back on track, because this was a dude who arguably was one fight away from a title shot, and since then he's lost 3 straight. And it's not like he's looked bad in those fights, but he keeps losing nonetheless. So what are your thoughts on this one? Is Ignacio ready for this level of Fiziev, and Fiziev having the fat L streak going to take another, or is this going to be maybe too much activity and too much too soon, and Fiziev gets back on track over Ignacio?
Yeah, I think Baja Mendes, I think he's won me over on this one. It's kind of crazy to see them both as, both minus. I'm surprised that maybe Fiziev would be a little bit bigger of a favorite, but they got Baja Mendes, which everyone's kind of recognizing. I think Baja Mendes has zero threat when it comes to the grappling, so there's nothing to worry about there. Baja Mendes has insane reach, and he's gonna, use those lanky arms and keep him at bay. And guess what? Baja Mendes can just take him down at will. Fiziev doesn't shoot takedowns, so literally Baja Mendes is gonna just do a kickboxing match, time it right, go in, get the submission, easy light work. That's kind of how I see it, to be honest.
Yeah, and Fiziev's never been submitted before, so if Bahamondes is the first one to do it, that truly would be impressive. But we saw him do it to Jalen Turner just a few months ago in what was a beautiful finish. And then earlier in his UFC career, he did the same thing to Rong Zhu, easy light work. So that could be a pathway for sure. Tapology's pretty split, though. You mentioned the odds. It's basically a pick 'em. Tapology's kind of seen it the same way. 52% rolling with Fiziev, 48% going with Bahamondes. A lot of beige on both sides, so they think this fight goes the distance. Are you taking Bahamondes in this one, and if so, is it by decision like Tapology suggests?
No, I think Baja Mendes wins by finish. I think submission also.
Very nice. Bahamondes by submission is what you're calling. I'm back and forth on this one, Meat Boy, but man, here's how I see this fight going down. I see this fight going the distance, and man, I want to pick Ignacio. I always pick Ignacio, but something tells me that the Azerbaijan hometown crowd is going to be enough for Fiziev to eke out 2 close rounds, and I see Rafael Fiziev getting a split decision in this one. But I love Bahamondes. I hope he wins because I want to see him continue what he's been doing. Something just tells me he's going to get zucked by the judges in this one. That's kind of all I got on this one. I got Fiziev by split decision zuckery. You got Bahamondes by finish?
Yeah, Baja Mendes by finish.
Let us know in the comments who you are rolling with. Swap us through though, Meat Boy. It's the meat event. It's Jamil Hall taking on Khalil Roundtree Jr., aka Choice Center, who is getting a lot of the Tapology love. 71% is taking Khalil Roundtree. He's a minus 162 favorite, and plus 136 is Jamal Hill, the dog. Jamal's on kind of a decent little L streak, but this dude was the former champ. This dude absolutely dominated start to finish, beat down Glover Teixeira and won the belt, and he was really doing great things prior to this sort of recent L streak he's been taking. But my head goes to the fact that his L's were against Alex Pereira and Jerry Prohaska. So to me, I'm a little bit surprised that Khalil Roundtree is a decent favorite, and I'm definitely surprised that all the Tapology Timmies are backing Khalil Roundtree pretty mightily. So, what do you make of this fight? Do you think the odds are justified? And if so, are you taking Khalil Roundtree to absolutely choice center his way through a victory over Jamil Hall?
I honestly, oh man, I think he will. Um, I think Khalil Roundtree is gonna honestly KO Jamal Hill. It wouldn't surprise me if it was early and often. I mean, Jamal Hill's coming off two KOs. Roundtree is also, but that was a year ago. Jamal Hill's freshly 5 months ago. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I just worry about Jamal Hill's glass chin. He leaves his chin up. He doesn't, he doesn't really move the head. I mean, Pereira kind of exposed that. And Roundtree is pretty violent. Roundtree I don't think is that good, but I think he's violent enough to demolish Jamal Hill.
He is violent. I don't disagree with that. I think there's no question to the absolute violence that this dude brings. The only thing I want to point out, Meat Boy, is let's look at Khalil Roundtree's recent wins, right? Because he's gotten all this hype within the last couple of years. The hype even got him a title shot somehow, right? And his wins are Modestus Bukauskas. That was that violent sidekick ACL terror, truly gnarly finish, right? I'll give him that one. But that's against Bukauskas. He then takes out Carl Roberson, bum. Dustin Jacoby, split decision. Chris Dawkins, Bellator, and then Lionheart. So it's like, yes, Khalil Roundtree is getting these beautiful, violent, even finishes, but he took out a lot of absolute bum dogs along the way. So do you think that Jamal Hill is in the Lionheart, Chris Dawkins, Jacoby, Carl Roberson camp, and he truly is that bad these days?
Honestly, I think he might be.
That's gonna be the only explanation, because to me, Sweet Dreams, yes, he lost a lot of fanfare, never really had a lot to begin with across the last couple of years with the way he's handled his losses, specifically the one against Pereira. But to me, I think his skills are kind of undeniable, and I think it's gonna be Sweet Dreams for Roundtree in this one. I don't see any world where Khalil Roundtree wins a fight against a former champ. I like Khalil Roundtree. I think he's talented, but I think he's very one-dimensional, and I think Jamal Hill is going to actually grapple a lot in this one. I can see him making this fight ugly, pushing the fight up against the cage, getting some trip takedowns perhaps, and really finding his way to make this a mixed martial arts contest against Roundtree, who we know is going to be trying to violently strike, to your point. So I'm taking Jamal Hill. I think the odds makers and the fans are sleeping on in this one, but if he gets absolutely slept by Roundtree, then I'll be with you and putting him in the Chris Dawkins category for sure. But for my money, I got Jamal Hill. I'm going to go by decision. Are you taking Roundtree by finish?
Yeah, I gotta take Roundtree by finish. Just until Jamal Hill can prove that his chin isn't made out of pure glass nowadays, I gotta go with Roundtree. Roundtree at least had a whole year to recover, level up, strengthen, etc., etc. So I think this is gonna be a mop sesh, to be honest.
Yeah, and rumor is throughout the last year he's reached level 262 Thetan at Choice Center too. So you wonder how that could factor into Roundtree's gains nonetheless. But either way, Meat Boy, it's Baku Lakus from Azerbaijan this weekend. We're back to Vegas for Topuria Oliveira versus for UFC 317 next weekend. Any last thoughts on the Baku Lakus?
No, I think I did studying just like Roundtree hitting that Ethan level. So hopefully, this breakdown I go 4-1.
4-1 for both of us. Let us know in the comments if you like our picks. If you don't like our picks, smash dislike, say anything in the comments.